You've almost definitely used ChatGPT. Maybe you've even had some fun making wild images with DALL-E. I mean, these tools are changing our world, and they're doing it ridiculously fast. But here's the thing. While the software gets all the glory, the architect behind it all is probably one of the most important people you'd never even heard of. Her name is Mira Murati.
It's a really interesting question, right? We are interacting with these amazing creations every single day. They're helping us write, they're helping us code, create art, things we never thought were possible. But who's actually steering the ship? Who is making those massive decisions about a technology that is, let's be honest, going to define our future?
Yep. Behind all the code, all the headlines, and the crazy multi-billion-dollar valuations, there's one chief technology officer. Her vision is shaping what artificial intelligence becomes, and she's doing it all in real time. This is the story of the engineer right at the very heart of the AI revolution. So let's dive in and meet the brilliant mind at the helm of OpenAI's most groundbreaking projects. The person whose job it is to manage the teams that took this world-changing tech from a lab and put it right into your hands. Her name is Mira Murati, but everyone calls her Mira. And as the Chief Technology Officer of OpenAI, she has one of the hottest seats in all of Silicon Valley. She's overseeing the very technology that has completely captivated and, maybe slightly terrified the entire world. While other names might grab the headlines, she's the one in the background making it all happen.
So how does someone even land a role like that, shaping tech that could literally alter the course of humanity? Well, her journey is pretty fascinating because it gives us this incredible window into her unique approach to building all of this. And it's a story that starts a long, long way from Silicon Valley.
Okay, so let's just trace this path for a second. She was born in Albania, and right from the get-go, she's into what we now call STEM: science, technology, engineering, math. That passion takes her all the way to Canada and then to Dartmouth for an Ivy League engineering degree. But look at her early career choices. This is key. She wasn't just stuck in some software bubble. She did a stint in finance at Goldman Sachs, learning about massive, complex global systems. Then aerospace at Zodiac, dealing with mission-critical hardware. But Tesla was the real game changer. Working on stuff like the Model X, she saw firsthand how AI could solve incredibly complex physical problems in the real world, not just digital ones. That hands-on, practical experience is exactly what she took with her when she walked into OpenAI in 2018.
And see, that's what it's all about. This mix of experiences is what really defines her whole approach. Her time at Tesla and later at the VR company Leapmotion, it wasn't about abstract theories in a lab. It was all about using AI to solve tangible problems with cars, with virtual reality, with planes. It gave her this deeply pragmatic, real-world viewpoint on how this tech needs to work in our messy, unpredictable world.
So all of this builds up to her arrival at OpenAI in 2018. And this is where her career, and frankly the entire AI industry, just goes into complete hyperdrive. Her impact was immediate, it was profound, and it helped turn the company from a research lab into a global phenomenon. Her rise inside the company was, well, meteoric. She joins in 2018 as a VP, and by 2022, boom, she's the Chief Technology Officer. You just don't get that kind of promotion unless you are absolutely essential to the mission. She led the teams that developed the tools that now define AI for millions of us. And this is where her pragmatism really shines. It was under her leadership that OpenAI made the huge decision to release ChatGPT to the public. The thinking was, you can't perfect this stuff in a vacuum. You have to get it out there and get feedback from millions of real people to truly understand it and make it better. Now, to really get her impact, you have to understand the tech she architects. At the very core of it all is the large language model, or LLM. The easiest way to think about it is an AI that's been trained on just a staggering amount of text from the internet. That's how it learns to understand and generate language that sounds, well, human. You ask it a question, and it predicts the most likely string of words to give you a coherent, detailed answer. ChatGPT? That's the revolutionary product she and her team brought to the world, built right on top of this foundation. But her team didn't just stop with text. Next up was DALL-E. This model takes that same basic idea of understanding language, but applies it to pictures. It learned the relationship between words and images. So you can type in a description, no matter how bizarre, like an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style, and bam, DALL-E just makes it. It's a tool that's pushing human creativity into some really wild new places. And the pace just keeps getting faster. Now she's leading the charge on Sora, which is the next massive leap, text to video. And it's not just, sticking pictures together. Sora is reportedly building a virtual model of the world to understand how things actually move and interact. This lets it generate these short, incredibly high-quality video clips from just a simple text prompt. Just think about that for a second. We've gone from text to images and now to moving pictures that have a sense of physics, all generated from language. It's a mind-blowing jump.
And if you want to really grasp the sheer scale of this revolution, you just have to look at this number. $100 billion. That's the reported valuation OpenAI is talking about. I mean, this isn't just a tech company number anymore. That reflects a fundamental shift in our economy and our society, all driven by the technology that Murati's teams are building. And a number that big, it brings an equally massive weight of responsibility.
Because with that kind of power, with that kind of money, comes immense pressure. See, building the technology is only half the job. The other half, the much, much harder half, is figuring out how to navigate the very real dangers it poses to all of us.
And listen, these concerns aren't theoretical. They're happening right now. We see AI models hallucinate. That's when they just confidently make stuff up. We've seen how these models trained on the biases of the internet can produce racist or stereotypical results, like the problems Google had with its Gemini image model. There's the huge threat of these tools being weaponized for political disinformation. And that's all on top of internal drama, like the huge lawsuit from co-founder Elon Musk claiming the company has lost its way. These are the messy, complicated, real-world problems landing on Murati's desk every single day.
And this quote from her just gets right to the heart of it. She's admitting that the technical part, as hard as it is, isn't even the hardest part. The real struggle, the thing that literally keeps her up at night, is wrestling with the safety and societal impact of what they're building. It's a pretty profound admission of the burden she carries, a weight that very few people on this planet could even begin to understand.
Which brings us to the fundamental question that everybody is asking, from governments right down to you and me. With all these undeniable risks, is this whole thing actually a net positive for humanity? When you weigh it all out, is it worth it?
Her answer is totally unequivocal. It is definitely worth it. Despite all the challenges, despite the sleepless nights, her belief in the potential of this technology is unshakable. She argues that these tools aren't just novelties. They could supercharge science, accelerate education, and boost human creativity in ways we're only just starting to imagine.
So this is her mission, right? It's a dual mandate. On one hand, push the boundaries of innovation to build tech that benefits everyone. But on the other hand, do it with extreme care, constantly trying to get ahead of the risks. It's like trying to build the future, but responsibly. It's a tightrope walk with the highest stakes you can possibly imagine.
And this brings us to our final and maybe the most important question of all. It's a question that goes beyond the code, beyond the hardware, and gets right to the heart of our relationship with the people who are building our future.
At the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. A very small group of people, led by architects like Mira Murati, are building something that could fundamentally change what it means to be human. The question is, can we trust them to get it right? The source material leaves us right there, with that thought hanging in the air. And, as it says, only time will tell.